Watch everybody. I want to talk about an idea that's been percolating in the crypto sphere for some time now, which is arguably two ideas that have been conflated together and caused some confusion. These are distinct ideas, and one of them is viable, in my opinion, and the other one absolutely isn't. So, what am I talking about? This is the notion of cryptocurrencies, maybe like Bitcoin or XRP, being used in the framework of SDRs. So, what are SDRs and why is this important? Well, the International Monetary Fund has something called a special drawing right, an SDR. And let's just go to the website and I'll read out how they describe what this financial instrument is, this asset class. The SDR is an international reserve asset created by the IMF to supplement official reserves of its member countries. The SDR is not a currency. It is a potential claim on the freely usable currencies of IMF members. As such, SDRs can provide a country with liquidity. A basket of currencies defines the SDR: the US dollar, euro, Chinese yuan, Japanese yen, and the British pound. So this is an international reserve asset that's backed by collateral in the form of fiat currencies from its member states. Now, it's worth noting that the IMF can issue SDRs to any country that its member states warrant it being distributed to. And these SDRs are distributed routinely to different countries depending on their ask, their need, and what the member states decide to give them. So once a country receives an SDR, it basically has a claim on one of these five currencies, so it can use it to pay for debts. Typically what happens is the IMF steps in to, in quotes, help a country that's found itself to be in a spot of bother financially, and it would potentially provide SDRs. That would be one mechanism for providing an SDR loan to that country. I would imagine interest is paid on these SDRs, but I don't know. Something to look into. So why is this important from a cryptocurrency perspective? Well, the idea has been put, two different ideas. One of them is that Bitcoin or some other cryptocurrency could become an SDR. It could even replace an SDR. That can't happen very simply because SDRs aren't currencies. They're just a claim on collateral that's been provided by member states. So the idea of a replacement of SDRs by a cryptocurrency, it doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. So, and I think that's obvious to most people the moment you define an SDR and see how it works. However, I think that idea has been confused from a better idea, which is the notion of a cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin being used as collateral for an SDR. Now that has a lot more legs. Why? What's the benefit? Well, if you think about it, none of these countries necessarily trust each other's currencies. Certainly, I mean, within the IMF, there's probably a high level of trust, but at any one time, one of these countries could massively inflate its currency and cause all sorts of trouble. So the idea of having an asset class used as collateral that doesn't belong to any of them, it has some benefits there, I think, because it's trustless, it's permissionless, it's censorship resistant. Bitcoin specifically has a high market cap and is very liquid. So it presents itself as a pretty worthy asset, I think, to be included as a reserve asset class. Other cryptocurrencies have similar properties that could also make them possible candidates for inclusion within a pool of currencies that would back an SDR. Now, within the IMF, I don't think necessarily that's actually the biggest opportunity here. I think for BRICS or other international organizations that are looking to supplant the IMF or reduce their dependency on the IMF, Bitcoin makes a lot more sense than local currencies or their own currencies being used. Because let's face it, the amount of trust between Russia and India between their currencies isn't very high. That is getting better. And I think with the Chinese working, Russia, China, and India working together to work out a means where they could accept the yuan for energy or refined products, raw goods for refined products. There's a kind of triangle there that kind of makes sense. But if the BRICS did want to have an international reserve asset which they could use like SDRs, then Bitcoin I think would make an excellent candidate as a currency that each country could allocate towards its collateral contribution to a BRICS SDR. So I think that's highly beneficial. What would be the benefit for Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency that was used in that capacity? Well, the volatility would go down massively. I think it's a huge recognition of adoption. These countries would, one would assume, buy large quantities of Bitcoin, and they would look to stabilize the price of Bitcoin at a level which is high enough that would allow them to facilitate covering making sure that the purpose of their drawing, right, is fulfilled. So it could massively elevate the price of Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. XRP could also be used, or a basket of cryptocurrencies could be used. It would elevate the price for sure, but it would also stabilize the price, because none of these countries want collateral that's currently as volatile as their own local currencies or as volatile as Bitcoin. So I think the idea that BRICS adopting crypto assets as collateral for an equivalent of a special drawing right makes a lot of sense for those reasons. So I hope you found this short video useful. Please like, subscribe, comment. If you want to learn more about special drawing rights and potentially how cryptocurrencies could work in that framework, I would love to discuss that with you as well, either online, or you could join our group, CryptoGB, which is the safe, scammer-free place to describe and discuss all things crypto. Thank you very much.